Wait, what is that actually?
That's My Little Pony.
Okay, thank you. I was like, I know that one. I know that one from my childhood.
What is Quiet Coyote from?
Quiet Coyote.
Everyone's childhood ever.
I
I've
actually
never
didn't have
encountered
it
Quiet
either.
Coyote.
Just me then. It's how the teachers get you to shut the fuck up.
I didn't.
I was really bad at that, so it's quite possible that we did in fact have a Quiet Coyote, and I was just not paying
Oh,
attention.
Kirsten, do
Just
you have
ignore it.
ADHD?
No, I
No.
was tested for it.
Uh-huh.
They said definitively not.
Uh-huh, yeah.
It's fine.
Totally, yep.
I don't have a sock problem.
I
have a
stock
system.
solution. Well, I do. I carry around socks with me at all times.
Do you?
Yeah, in my backpack. I've got an extra set of socks because I hate
Why?
wet socks so much. And this is
Oh.
Boston, so it might rain on me.
Oh, I was
I
mostly
literally
thinking
had-
about your alarm system.
There's that too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you
I
take
can
away the
turn some of
alarms.
those off. If you take away the alarms, I am 1, so at peace. 2, will never do anything. I will forget to eat.
Same.
More importantly, I will forget to feed my child,
Yeah.
which is what the vast majority of them are, except there's 1 hour of time in which like a whole bunch of them go off because it's the time when he's supposed to be sleeping. So it's one time I could theoretically be productive. And then without fail, Philip has witnessed, I never do.
I mean,
Never
you're busy. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember for the longest time, like your
Oh.
6:17 alarm
Yep.
was read the stand.
Oh, it still is. Read the
Really?
Stand still in there.
Does it still go off?
No, I combined it with some other stuff. So it's just a reminder that I should eventually maybe read the Stand.
Oh. You could make book club read the stand. I have a copy.
I don't know if
It's
I want
too long
to
for
do
a book
that.
club.
It's really long
Year-long
because
book club.
Stephen King, like the reason why that miniseries you watched was so long,
Yeah.
like there's still more to the book. The
Oh,
book
yeah.
itself is like this thick.
Oh, yeah. My sister loves Stephen King. I'm very aware.
Oh, that's
She
great. We should
loves
chat
him.
sometime.
Yeah.
I have so many feelings.
Yeah.
But yeah, he writes long. But I actually have one I've been thinking about making people,
It's because of the cocaine.
Probably.
The ideas that just come to me.
Most of them are about writers for some weird reason.
That's so crazy. And
Writers
this
with
writer
drinking and
who's
drug
married to a
problems.
movie star who's really attractive,
Yes.
guys.
Have I
Just-
told you how
just
attractive she is?
attractive this
Oh my
writer's
gosh.
girlfriend is? Just not really,
Just-
you know,
it's great
just so you
redhead.
know, is really relevant to the plot. Anyway, speaking of plot,
But no,
That's good.
you were saying a thing.
Yeah, I was saying a thing that I've got a plan for us to read a shorter Stephen King book, which is actually fantasy based. It's called Eyes of the Dragon. It's pretty cool. I think it's a bit lighter of a story. There's definitely like some gory stuff in there, I think,
Nice.
Oh, thank God.
I say that going into this episode, guys. I can't tell you how excited I am
Oh,
for some of the
geez.
I
things
am
that are about to
honestly
happen.
picturing. You remember the ending of Cabin in the Woods where they make it down in the elevator, and then the elevator doors just keep opening.
Yeah, that is.
That's roughly what I picture. Yeah, and then just like blood.
should I not have eaten before this episode?
Do you have a weak stomach?
I don't think so.
We're gonna find out.
And welcome back.
And welcome back to the Seven Stars of the Right podcast. This is session. I think it's 117.
That sounds
I have my
right.
notes right out in front of me. Yeah, what's 117?
Cursed number.
Is it?
I think it's a prime, isn't it?
It seems like a
Oh.
prime number.
There's some numbers you look at and you're like, yeah, that feels right. No, it
No,
can't
that's
be.
divisible by 3.
It's divisible by 3.
It is?
Yeah,
And
because you
probably
just add all
9.
of the digits. 1 + 1 + 7 is 9, and that's divisible by 3, which means the whole number is divisible by 3.
Yep. 90 plus 27.
Anyway.
And welcome back.
And welcome
to
back.
Math Tricks with Jeff and Kirsten.
Where we sometimes mess up pi.
Aw.
Oh.
I was close, damn it.
You
I was
were.
Very close.
You also got a lot farther than I
Yeah.
possibly could have.
Anyway,
What do you guys remember from last time? Also, if you can sandwich in between there, also, how are you doing?
yes.
Oh, hold on. Before we do all of that,
Yeah, I also actually have a
Whiplash.
housekeeping thing.
well, I've got a housekeeping thing
Yes.
first.
Maybe your
So we're coming to the end of an arc. With those, and like generally when there's a lot of space in between them, we do a metadimensional episode. What is a metadimensional episode, you might ask? I'm glad you did, listener.
Fan. Love you.
It's time for us to sit down and talk about the podcast, how the plot is going, how the different characters are feeling about different things, maybe a look behind the scenes or anything like that. And we like to open it up to you, the listener.
Singular.
Yay! This is one of my favorite jokes of the show.
I mean, I know
talking to the person.
there are at least dozens of you.
What?
Yeah, no, we
Dozens.
dozens. We have at least dozens of listeners.
Wow.
Some of them might be robots, but for this show, that's okay.
Yeah.
In good company.
We'll take their listening. Anyway, we'd like to offer the opportunity for you guys to send us an email for us to answer on the air. So if you would like to do that, you can send an email to us at seventhstarpodcast@gmail.com. That is the letter 7, THSTAR podcast@gmail.com. I think we're only going to take those for until like around the next episode releases, 118. I think we're intending to record that episode around June 7th. So if you don't get those in before June 7th, 2025, I don't know if you're listening to this in the future, then you're shit out of luck. And maybe you'll get the next one.
Or maybe just email it anyway, and Jeff might get bored and read it sometime.
Yeah, I know. I just answer it.
Yeah.
You know, I occasionally look at
bad impulse control. Anything could happen.
I occasionally look at that. If you guys send me something, I will probably respond.
Also, I've got actual great news.
Yeah.
So last time I said that I tried to get the full spelling of the thing with like SEVEN and that it was taken. Apparently, I'm just shit at spelling because I went back and I checked again when I was editing this episode and it was there. So I now own
You should
7-star
forward
podcast.
it to.
No.
Oh no!
The power play begins now, Jeff.
Oh God.
So if you want me to receive your
Pick your favorite.
Don't actually send them to me because I just wanted to sit on that. I'm not actually checking that email.
We should probably check it anyway.
Yeah, I will.
That's funny. That's
the
some
next
good
time in the
stuff.
future when I hear this.
Yes.
I will set a reminder.
Yes.
I will set an alarm to do
Yes,
that.
of course you will.
Perfect. So housekeeping.
Yes,
You
one
mentioned
more
housekeeping.
thing. We were discussing the ability to shield people from attacks. Do you remember this? I figure it was useful to say on air the new rules moving forward.
Yes. So there was a discussion after the fact. We let's say we fly by the seat of our pants a little bit on this podcast.
No.
And you know, there are some decisions that I make in combat scenarios that aren't necessarily explicitly laid out in the rules. But I think even one thing that the person who wrote this system would say is just kind of make rulings and try and make them as consistent as possible. You don't really want the rules to bog you down, but you do. You're constantly a little bit on a. What are those called? The missions where you're bringing around someone who's kind of helpless. And
Escort missions.
Escort missions. Thank you.
You're
So you're kind of a little bit always on an escort mission. Now, the person that you're escorting can deal a lot of damage, and in fact might do more damage than some people at this table, Claire. But obviously you don't want anything to happen to her, and so we want to give you guys
love her.
because you love her,
Because we love her.
That's right.
your psychic space child,
Mhm.
and
My literal child.
Well,
You can't prove that.
Show us the tests.
going to Space Maury. Anyway, and so want to try and maybe identify or articulate specific things as you guys sometimes move in front of her, but don't necessarily explicitly say that this is what I'm intending to do. I'm intending to protect her. And so I think it might be worthwhile for us to say, all right, if you want to protect someone, or let's just say anyone, not just Claire, because this might come up again in the future.
I think we should make custom rulings for each NPC.
No, please don't. I will immediately retcon them.
Also, that would be a terrible system. But
I
funny.
will say that you can step in front of someone and articulate in that moment that you are trying to take a hit for them. But I think in that case, so we've done a couple of things in the past. I've drawn aggro, so they can't really target the person you're protecting, but they will target you instead. And we've also done when there's covering fire.
When it's something that was going to hit everybody.
You can choose to fail the roll and take the damage to kind of protect the person. Mm-hmm. I think there was one other thing. It came up because the attack that targeted Claire was more of like a line of sight thing and not necessarily like a physical bullet is leaving a gun. It was an ability. And so those, unfortunately, and things like that are more of like a spot target that don't necessarily travel through. I don't know there's a way that you can do that other than distracting the person. Does that all make sense to folks?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool.
So declare you're trying to shield somebody explicitly, and also line of sight things like metapsionics or other such things won't necessarily be able to be shielded.
Correct.
Cool.
Gorgeous.
All right. Now that we've got all the housekeeping out of the way, let's talk about what we did last time.
Sure thing. So last time we encountered the Inquisitor formerly known as Goose. His name is Vaughn McRaven now. I really don't get why, like, now is not the time to rebrand, sir.
No, you gotta get a name that kind of goes with what you do, right?
Did Goose go with like before? What about him was Goose like?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. All right.
Jeff stares
Anyway,
dispassionately into the middle.
He
distance.
honked at people.
He was silent. That is one feature.
Well, he was very scary
And big.
and rushed at us a lot. So maybe I could see it. Jeff, was the secret to defeating him grabbing him by the neck and throwing him overboard?
Maybe.
Fuck. And now he's changed his name, so we can't take advantage of that. Anyway, moving on. So we were almost going to fight him, but then we didn't.
Yeah.
We managed to cross the room. It took us a while. We got to the magical portal thingy on the other side, which supposedly leads to the machine.
Mm-hmm.
We had Dr. Anton Vassar, a.k.a. the Spider, start looking at it for us, and then got impatient and kicked his ass through the portal.
It was very funny.
Yeah. And then we emerged on the other side to find both of our apocalypses that we were expecting. I've decided it's apocalypses now.
That's fair.
That we were expecting to see. So we had four of the Draevorne siblings, which are the
Draevorne, but yes.
Draevorne, my bad.
Yep.
Which are the Chancellor and pals standing around a giant sky beam.
Yep.
And then also over in the corner working on their own little extra credit project is Davos Gang, who's doing creepy chanting inside of an impenetrable bubble.
Yep.
But Kirsten, how did you know the bubble was impenetrable?
Because I tried to penetrate it.
I tried really hard to blow it up. It didn't work, but we'll get to that in a moment. So basically go over, confront all of the Chancellor team. Some of them stick their hand in the light and transform into the world's saddest Power Rangers.
Fair.
Except one didn't quite make it because he rolled shit on initiative. So we just shot him before he could.
Yep.
So he is actually, I went back and I checked his status. He's down, unconscious, but not dead because
Draevorne
Claire
siblings that were knocked out by Claire's telepathic assault.
Yes. So that one of them got down before going Super Saiyan. Another one got downed after going Super Saiyan. A third we put in a box.
Yep.
And then eventually just killed. And then Austere was killed in a very high variance of success manner.
We can just say it was cool, right?
It
It was across the board. No fumbles, no problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
Yep.
cool.
Just really cool.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
Chancellor is dead.
Yeah. So the Chancellor's dead.
Along with
Probably the other ones whoever
Chancellor.
was going to be Kind Heart. It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They're
Most
down,
of
they're
them,
knocked out.
two of them were dead,
Uh-huh.
like outright, and two of them are unconscious.
Yes. So that happened. Nona checked in with Claire and was like, Claire, oh, wait, no. Spider told us that the way we shut down the portal thingy is we've got to yeet a traveler / person with spirit of the ancients power within them into said sky beam.
Yeah.
And they're like, Claire, you want to do that? And she's like, no. So Nona's like, great, I'll go get the other one. It's fine. We have two. And tried really hard to blow up Davos's magic bubble, and it did not work.
Mhm.
And then McRaven showed up.
Yeah.
Is McRaven one of them?
No. So
Oh.
this was a lot of confusion. I mean, he might be.
He might be,
But
yeah.
he came in through the same way we came in. He did not appear inside of the bubble.
He is outside of the bubble.
He's outside of the bubble. He has entered the room.
We could throw him into the beam and see what happens.
Oh, also, this is that would be fun. This is a point of clarification that Jeff made off air that I think is important to mention on air. We do not know, we cannot see the portal, correct?
Yes, sorry.
Oh,
I can
interesting.
describe this. I think that I flubbed some things. So the platform that you are on almost feels as if it is going through metadimensional space, very, very similarly to a spike drill, which you are all familiar with, but without the walls of a ship around you. There's just this kind of shimmering around it, and you can't quite tell where the space that you are in changes from the outside, but it feels like there's a dome around you. And so along the perimeter of this platform is where you all entered through a space that is not discernibly different from the rest of the kind of walls, quote unquote, of this place. But as you were to would have stepped close to the edge of this platform, you can look down into just the shimmering abyss, but there is clearly like a slight like glint that appears to have some kind of delineation between this quote unquote reality and the outside reality. Basically, as Dr. Anton Vassar was explaining, this is no longer really a part of the material plane that you are familiar with. And it's not quite in metadimensional space either. It is somewhere in between, but it definitely feels as if it is moving towards metadimensional space. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that gives you a bit better of a picture of what's happening.
And more relevantly to right now, we don't know how to get out.
Yes.
Yes.
You haven't necessarily tried to. If you want to try and take a look.
There's like a difference between like, oh, we came in through like, oh, space all around us, but then there's like this glowing, circular thing, and you look through that and you wave at Goose, who's having Vaughn McRaven, who's having his emotional breakdown. You're like, hey, buddy, and not that.
Yes, you cannot tell where you entered. The only way that you can kind of tell where you entered is by orienting yourself based off of the scene that you saw in front of you when you came in. And obviously now Vaughn McRaven came from a very similar space. So you suspect that he came through that same portal that you did.
It would be really funny if he just showed up like from a completely different spot and is just like rotating around it. Like wherever you walk in, like somebody else comes in and they're just way over there.
That is not the case at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is where we enter. You see again this circle of acolytes of the end. They are chanting words that you cannot fully wrap your head around. It's clearly some language that none of you are familiar with. And you see Vaughn off to the edge of this giant platform, taking in everything.
Nona is going to kneel down and go rummaging through her backpack for more demo charges. The rest of those are in storage.
Hold on, I gotta get more stuff out.
Yeah, so basically where we left off, like she tried to do a really big explosion. It didn't work. Her and Davos are kind of death glaring at each other. So she's gonna do it again. Like he, started bleeding from the nose. So seems like it did something. While I'm doing that and while I'm sort of like handing, because to take something out requires an action. So I'm going to take those 3 things out and give them to the Mobots for them to continue doing surround thing. But I actually only have 3 of them. So while I'm doing that, I'm also going to look over my shoulder and be like, hey, I need more bombs.
How far are we from everyone at this point? So I know that I'm closer to the center of the platform, and Claire is near me, I believe.
This is a fairly wide open area. Yeah. I would probably say that the entire radius of this platform. Let's see.
I made it from the center to the bubble with a single jump. So that's about 30 meters, if that helps.
Sorry, say that again.
I made it from roughly the center to the bubble in a single
right, but they're not
heat
all the
yourself.
way near the edge.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the entire radius of this is, I'm going to say 100 meters wide.
Wow.
Yeah, it is like
Radius?
a football.
Radius
Yes.
Okay.
It is a massive, massive platform.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I was trying to level of scale.
So
Yeah, football
two
fields,
football
so-
fields.
2 football fields all the way across, but only 1 football field to the center.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
From the edge to the center.
Yep.
That's the radius.
Yes.
All right.
That's a radius.
And so you were probably, I don't know, no, you were probably about 20 meters or so away from the pillar of light.
Sure.
Maybe a little bit farther back. So they're probably somewhere between 50 and 60 meters away from the center. So probably about halfway between the edge and the pillar that has been forming.
Cool.
So it wouldn't take you too long. They're not too far off.
Okay. And we're not in combat anymore, right?
No, you're not
Okay.
currently in combat.
Go ahead.
I was just trying to remember if you also have armor. We've been collecting.
Yes, I have. I have Inquisitor armor
Okay.
on, but no helmet.
Neat.
Yeah. So, yeah, because Micah had just done a shorter super jump to go and square off with Chancellor Austere, who is now dead on the ground. And that is kind of where we left off. I want to ask, was the Chancellor wearing that ceremonial collar thing from earlier at the coronation?
They absolutely were.
I would like to take that.
Yeah.
I'd like to.
You're obtaining your trophies?
Yeah, I'm taking the trophy.
Fucked up.
You gotta break it. We put that on the flag.
Marcus, you gotta figure out.
That was out of character.
Something you want to say to me? No, yeah, I absolutely like this. Is like, kind of a big moment for her.
How is Micah feeling about this? She just ended a tyrant's reign.
It's a lot for sure. Like, the adrenaline is still very high. On one level, I think she's thinking like, wow, like they were, like kind of ruling tyrannically over us for all this time. And it was kind of, they're just people. It's like, that was honestly like, I don't know. They like soup themselves up to like be psychics, which is also like its own, like the hypocrisy, just where does it end?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we kind of kicked their ass. And it's like, a lot of emotion, but also the planet's still gonna explode maybe. So, but it's taking a beat to, we're getting the color though. We're giving that moment kind of its due, to take that and try and break it maybe with telekinesis, if that is a possibility.
I'm just going to say you can just do that. In fact, this is something that they clearly were able to take on and off. This is not something that they slept in. It is clearly some kind of like jewelry or something like that. Don't make those eyes at me, Kirsten.
Are you sure?
That they
Jeff?
what in, Jeff?
Are you sure?
They may have done other things in them, but they didn't sleep in them.
You know what? That's fair.
You don't
Bondage
sleep in a
gear,
ball gag.
They
they like to sleep with it on.
Nasty.
And so it doesn't
no
even
respect for this man. He does not deserve it.
If you want to break it, you absolutely can, but you can also just unlatch it.
He's like an old guy, so he's got one of those. You ever seen the infomercials for like the magnetic? Easy
Easy class.
Exactly.
No, I want to. I mean, at the very least, like if it does unclasp that easily, if I could like leave it open and then like I don't know how the balance works, so I could just like drape it around my shoulders.
Oh,
Do you actually want to put
like
it
that.
on?
No, I don't want to like put it on my neck. I just like by the chain, you know?
Okay. All right. You might be doing some running later.
Yeah.
No.
You can do that now. Absolutely. Just kind of like almost as a hunter kind of like showing off their kill kind of like with their on their shoulders.
Yeah. And I'll reassert my telekinetic manipulation. So we've got the box and now this thing. So it's going to stay with me.
Oh my god.
Forgot about the box the whole time.
You're going to use telekinetic manipulation while you're fighting to make sure you don't have a wardrobe malfunction.
Listen, you got to have priorities.
I do kind of like that.
That's so funny.
I'm using one of the things that I can do to actually hold things up in the air without touching them to just attach something.
If we
to
don't
me.
hold on to our symbols, what are we even doing?
You know what?
here?
Great point. I love it.
Absolutely. So you can do that.
So I'm doing all that, which I think would probably mean I'm slow to respond to Nona's call, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Marcus, if I remember correctly, his skin almost fell off because of the encounter with that bioscion.
Yep.
So he's recovering from that. I think seeing that everyone's either out or down, he's going to look for the two guys that are unconscious and he's going to shoot them in the head.
Yeah.
Do you want me to roll for that, or
no?
They're not really going to fight back.
This is like a.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. No.
If Nona had plans,
no. Kirsten had plans. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. And so everyone else sees that Marcus, takes out the pistol and just starts walking over, and has the gun pointed to it, at least the one probably closest to you all.
Mm-hmm.
And if no one says anything,
I'll shoot him.
Gun rings out. This is kind of like a coup de grace, I think, in like D&D or something like that. Basically, they can't fight back. They're dead.
Yep.
And so you continue to walk forward to this pillar of metadimensional energy that is just rushing down out of the sky into the ground. And as you step closer, you can feel almost like the electricity in the air. The hair on your arms like stands on like straight. You can feel the static, and you almost feel like something surging within you.
Within me.
Yeah.
Marcus.
And I've never felt anything.
No.
It's the call of the voice.
Yeah.
Do it. It'd be really funny.
You're the one.
We can quickly whip up a new character, right?
And so I mean, this is like, I assume what our psychic friends experience, but I've never felt this before.
You've been with psychics. They've described this feeling to you, and there's definitely some similarities. There's so much metadimensional energy that is rushing through this immediate area. It doesn't necessarily turn you into a psychic, but you can feel it coursing throughout your entire body. This is clearly like there's the pillar, which is like the actual physical thing that might do something to happen if you reach into it. But then it's clearly radiating this invisible energy as you step closer and closer to it.
Okay. How close is the other unconscious guy?
He is literally right next to it.
Fuck.
He was reaching for the pillar.
And then he died.
Can you actually make a wisdom notice check for me, please?
And to do that, I would roll
2d6.
Thank you. One day. It's a 9.
Marcus, as you step closer to this pillar, you notice that there's been a period of time that you guys have been in here. It hasn't been too long, in fact. The fight just having recently wrapped up, you probably have only been in here for a handful of minutes. You saw all of those people kind of standing around this pillar and where they were relative to it. You can kind of see, like, with the ground and the stuff on the ground, you could kind of get an understanding of like where certain things were in relative space to this. He was not as close to the pillar
Jeff,
as he once was. You would guess that the pillar has grown in size. It is starting to expand.
Wait, so he's closer to it?
He's closer to it now, but not because he moved.
Yeah.
Because it moved to him. The radius seems to be expanding.
All right.
Ever so slowly. It's not something that is you can see with your naked eye, but it is clearly something that is happening. It is a timer that is clearly ticking down or up.
Some direction.
Yeah. But it sure is moving.
All right. I'm going to call out. Wait, where's the spider?
He's hanging out on the edge.
Okay. Yeah, he's hanging out near the edge.
He's too far.
I mean, we've talked to him. You just can't.
Shouting across the football field.
Yeah, basically. Well, no, he's on our side of the.
Yeah.
It's still a football field.
No, that's
he's probably
standing right next to the edge. This man is mortal.
No. Yeah, he probably is. He's probably distanced himself from the chanting bubble a little bit
because he exploded once. It's about to do it again.
Yeah.
Apparently, all by myself.
So he's like, probably 60 or 70 yards. I was gonna say yards, but meters, kind of similar. When we're talking
Second
at this
down.
scale, exactly.
You got it. You
can yell to him, but
football.
one thing that you have noticed stepping closer to this pillar is just there is this harmonic hum
Oh, I don't like
that
that.
has clearly gotten louder as you've approached.
Okay.
Like Marcus, we love you. Stick
No,
your hand in
please.
here.
Join us in the pillar, Marcus.
Guys.
And you see an arm reach out.
Not actually though, right? Because that's
Not
not something
actually.
you
Yeah, very different. Because if that happens, I'm shooting it.
Yeah, no worries.
We know you're feeling on hands reaching out from the abyss.
I'm gonna
Well
shoot it.
aware.
Guys, it's. I think he can't even really get the words out. I think I'm gonna shoot the one from afar. If you want me to make a shoot check, I will, because I don't want to get closer to the pillar.
He is prone. I'm not gonna you're not walking up to him and shooting him point blank. So I'm gonna want just make an attack roll.
Yeah.
Their AC is gonna be pretty low though, since they aren't actively trying to dodge you. Actually, no, do it with advantage. That's probably the better way to do this.
Nice. Does a 25 hit?
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll damage?
You don't have to roll damage. You with a 25, you take your aim, you shoot, and you hit directly center of mass, and their blood just starts to seep out onto the ground around. That is a shot that you have seen people take before. If they aren't dead now, they won't be alive much longer.
Either you insta-killed them or they're about to bleed out.
Yeah, that's
So after he does that,
with more words,
It was
Kirsten.
good. It was good. He just looked confused. And I would just like somebody to come give me a damn bomb. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. My Marcus definitely heard Nona, so I think he's now going to run away from the pillar and shout as he's running. It's growing. Claire, and he's gonna run full he's a lot of his swagger and toxic masculinity is really falling away at this point. He is scared.
There's no room for toxic masculinity in the Death Dome.
Exactly. So once he notices that he's gonna kind of push Claire to run, and he's gonna run toward no, Micah, you can handle yourself.
No, I mean, I was gonna say, as Marcus is one firing some gunshots and then also starts babbling something about the energy. Micah is gonna come back into the moment more and be like, oh right, the objective, Nona, Devas, okay, on it, and is gonna do a super jump over to get there faster.
Yeah.
Because I have got 3 demo charges that I can offer to the effort.
I also have 3 demo charges.
We all have a lot of demo charges.
And so you guys all kind of run to Nona, and Micah, you do see Vaughn there, who is just taking in everything as he approaches.
Yeah, I got people I want to talk to. Because so Vaughn is on the on the far outskirts.
But he is coming towards you guys right now.
Okay, Vaughn's coming towards us. Just jumped back over to the dome with Nona. I'm gonna try and bang on it and get Zuri's attention in there.
Ooh, you're gonna touch it.
I get I'll yell a little bit and then I guess I'll touch it if they don't respond.
What how are you touching? Are you just kind of pressing up against it? Are you tapping it?
Always a question you want your
I
team
know.
to ask.
I'm
what
so
are you
excited.
doing here?
So here's how I see this going down.
Yep.
Micah jumps over, sees what's happening, sees there are some craters around this thing that have not penetrated the bubble so far. I'm going to yell out Zuri, you've got to stop this. This is going way too far. I know you're in there. Help us, please. And is going to take the gloved hand of this Inquisitor armor that Micah's wearing and is going to hammer on it with her fists.
Can you make an attack roll for me, please?
Yeah, with like what, a punch check?
Yeah.
Great.
Punch it real good. I mean, it's a bubble.
How tough can it be?
What about a nat 1?
Not that good.
You're not used to doing things with your hands. You've got mental.
Wow. Say that to me again.
Say it slower while I'm wearing my king collar. Sorry.
No, that's right.
you use your telekinesis as much as you can. You're proud of it, but you swing down and it's a little awkward. It's not a trained punch. You swing down and it meets this shimmering bubble, and your hand doesn't even make it a fraction of a millimeter in before you feel a force almost throw you back. It's not strong enough to completely take you off your feet. You actually get the sense that had you struck it harder and more true and got further in, that would have been multiplied and possibly even thrown you even further back. But you came off a little off center, and instead you feel this immense force pushing against you away from Davos.
Okay, yeah. I'll try and regain my footing barely. This has gone way too far. Like, you're gonna kill everyone. Don't you get that? Please, like, Zuri, that's enough. Come on.
There was already a bit of a back and forth that happened last time. I believe Nona tried to speak to Zuri, and Davos chided them that they cannot stop chanting. So Zuri opens their eyes and looks at you, and there's complex emotions in there. Without a check, because you know them pretty well, there's some resolution there, but they understand that they're going against a friend. So they're torn a little bit. And looking into their eyes, you see flickers of light.
Micah, may I please have 2 demo charges?
Does our team even mean anything to you? I'm like trying to plead with them some. But yeah, we'll look over at Davos and then look over at Micah, and I will give you a couple of demo charges.
Cool, thank you. I'm actually only going to set 1 down. I want to keep 1 for myself in case of emergencies.
Vaughn steps up next to you, Micah, and rests a hand on your shoulder and says, Micah, let me take this one a little bit here.
Okay, yeah, we could really use your help. Ship is not going great right now. It's good that you're here.
Yeah.
We're not blowing it up now?
Give me a second, but it might be worth taking a step back.
I will move back and regather up my mobots and put them all back together.
Do you leave the demo charges there?
Yeah. I mean, we set them out. I got a nice little ring of 4, just like we did last time. And then I've kept 1 for myself in case for when shit goes to hell.
Mm-hmm. And so, Marcus, what are you doing here?
Well, it took me longer to get there because I don't have the fucking jetpack.
You were actually jumping. You have Inquisitor armor.
Oh, Marcus is not going to do that.
You're not going to jump?
No.
It's so much fun, though. You go from one end of Jeff's battle map, off of Jeff's battle map, and then he gets mad at you. Try it. It's
no,
great.
Right now we're Theater of Mind. You can jump as far as you want, but the Theater of Mind stretches infinitely.
Very comfortable being a normal guy.
He really, Marcus is like, ooh, that would hurt my back, and he's not going to do it.
You player characters behave yourself, or I'm adding more football fields.
Your guy's only like in his late 40s, right? He's not that old.
He's had a day.
He's had a day.
Jeff, when you get to our age, you'll understand.
He didn't take care of his...
2 years older than me.
You'll understand.
And I'm the youngest here. He didn't take care of his body when he was in exile, okay? He was very,
But I thought you were like fit.
Being hot.
There's a difference between I take care of my body and I'm a smoke show.
We've all seen The Last of Us, okay? Is Joel doing well? No. Is he hot? Yes. Okay, this is the image I need for people.
Fair enough.
I think Joel would make the jump.
You think no, he wouldn't. Anyway.
No, he wouldn't.
So, running back, I think he's gonna, like, I assume Claire is like with him because we're running away. Yeah. He's gonna run up to Nona, give her the demo charges, look at Claire, look at Nona, be like, okay. And then he's gonna go up to McRaven and he's gonna grab him by the scruff of the shirt. And he's gonna be like, you need to get your fucking team together. Okay, you sent us on this suicide mission and now we're gonna fucking die.
Let go of me.
And fine, he will. He'll push him back.
And he says, I will handle this, but I'm going to need you guys to step back a little bit so I can talk one-on-one with Zuri.
Why should we trust you? Huh? There's no way out of here, right? That thing's growing. Okay, it's going to eat all of us.
Do you know a way through Davos' shield?
I was thinking bombs.
He's going to walk away. Marcus is going to walk away.
Yeah, Marcus, back off. This has all got to be part of the plan, right? Looking at Vaughn.
Yeah.
This is all part of the plan?
Yeah, it is.
Wake up, Micah.
Okay, let's pull this conversation over here.
Is that Nona like?
I'm going to like gesture. I don't think she quite has those words to say, but she's going to be like, let's stick to the plan. And if that doesn't work, bombs.
Fine. Marcus is going to storm off. Not too far, though.
Okay. Yeah. Micah believes that Vaughn has got this handled.
No.
It's like, look, I mean, gonna be attentive to what he's doing over there, but also kind of has an eye on the glowing pillar, the dead Chancellor ships, and all of that. It's like, is anything else coming to get us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Just keeping kind of a general look out.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to listen into the conversation, any of you, that is happening between Zuri and Vaughn?
If Vaughn seems like he actively doesn't want us to be listening in, I don't think I necessarily would. Like, I'm curious, but I don't want to fuck this up.
He's not shouting.
Uh-huh.
He's kind of talking in a very low, like calming voice, as you can kind of hear, and as his gravelly voice can allow.
Yeah, Mike
so
is keeping an ear out.
If you want, could you make a wisdom notice check?
Marcus would also.
All right, yeah.
I do not trust this
Well,
guy.
now I feel left out. So now
do it. Yeah, go for it.
Now I want to do it.
Oh, that is cocked.
It's a 7.
And also a D20, which is not the die.
9.
Come on, man.
You just trust him so much.
There's 2 more ones. So that's 3 ones rolled today. That's great. Yeah, that's a 2.
Yeah, I think you listed off a handful of things that you were trying to pay attention to, and it's hard to keep track of all of the things. Nona, with your hearing with that 9, you listen in because you're curious how this is going to go. It is a one-sided conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Vaughn going, Zuri, how much have we been through? I need you to step outside of that bubble. I need you to stop chanting. Please. And there's like, I brought you off the streets. Would you think I want to hurt you? Do you think I'm lying to you when I say that this is not the right way? And it's clearly it's Vaughn talking to a wall, but you do see Zuri open their eyes, and there is an emotion in there, but conviction as well.
Sure.
Micah, with your keeping an eye out on everything, especially the pillar, you actually notice that the Draevorne sibling that was closest to the pillar is now half inside of it.
Go.
Does it look like it's doing anything weird to the body?
It starts to shake a little bit until the entire body seems to be caught up in the surge of whatever this is, and it is sucked completely in. And the pillar undulates a little bit, not too much, but there's clearly a shift in its flow, and you see arcs of metadimensional energy jumping to objects in the vicinity, some hitting even some of the nearby Draevorne siblings, not doing anything, but clearly like, a shock almost from like a Tesla coil or something like that. And you see an object that seems to be thrown out of it towards you.
What is it, Jeff?
Like at me,
Yep.
like collision course.
In your vicinity, not like it's going to hit you in your head if you don't.
Okay.
The pillar
I don't
is
know.
sentient and it is throwing rocks. That's where we're at, you guys.
Does it? God. Okay. A couple of things. So that stuff's happening. Does it look like the body going in like made it like more unstable? Like it's growing faster. It's like more dangerous. You would say.
It definitely seems like the pillar has increased in its growth. However, you don't think it was from the addition of this body. The reason why you think that is because it's clearly moved in these past few minutes of like talking to Vaughn and keeping an eye out and stuff like that more than it did in the previous few minutes. It seems like it is speeding up in its growth. This object is still coming.
All right.
towards
Yeah. I'll try to catch it.
You got to drop one of your things, though, I think. Don't you? Or do you get 3 things?
Are you catching it with telekinesis?
I was going to use my hands, but I do
Oh
get.
my God.
No, you're not used to using your hands. We just
that's
made a
true.
sex joke about this.
My hands are shit. That's. Some people would say otherwise, but I do get 3 things with my telekinesis.
And so it's streaking towards you all. And before it is able to hit the ground, you just reach out and grab it. And you bring it towards yourself. I assume you do.
Yeah. If it's not immediately exploding.
No, it's not immediately exploding. It gets closer and you recognize this as a skull.
Oh, no.
Smoldering and almost glowing, like the cracks underneath it just have this faint glow to it that seems to slowly fade over time. Completely bleach white.
Marcus, don't put your hand in there anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that down on the floor now and say, okay, we gotta move. Like, yeah, kind of looking expectantly at Vaughn. Yeah, this is. We're kind of, time's sort of running out. We're here. We're doing what we need to do. Yeah.
Vaughn.
Like 2 thumbs up.
Vaughn turns towards you all and starts walking to you. Could you all make a wisdom notice check for me, please?
Oh, boy. I got a 10.
8.
5.
Micah, you just see Vaughn. He's clearly not feeling very well. There's a sadness to him. Nona and Marcus, you see as he walks towards you all, he reaches into his pocket pretty deftly. Not like it's subtle. But clearly not just putting his hand in his pocket just for the fun of it. There's intentionality behind it. And you hear an ever so soft click. And an explosion erupts behind you, not from outside of the bubble, but from within it. As the bubble drops and rubble starts getting thrown out from the center of this. There was an explosion inside of the bubble itself. Marcus, which you had a 10?
Yeah.
Marcus, the explosion seemed to come from Zuri.
Oh, fuck.
This explosion happens, and you all of a sudden cannot see the members of the Acolytes of the End that were in the bubble. There is currently just some smoke and fire and covering, and Vaughn is stone-faced.
Nona has been waiting for the bubble to drop for a while now. So she's like, as soon as that happens, she's darting forward and she's trying to find Devas and grab him.
Okay.
Mike is blindsided. Just, what the fuck happened?
Are you trying to talk to Vaughn?
Yeah, I mean, like, I see the explosion. I don't know that he did anything in particular because I didn't notice. Just like, whoa, shit. And yeah, seeing that and, being aware that Zuri's in there is going to, take attention away from the beam and try to rush forward and get to Zuri.
Vaughn doesn't do anything to stop you. You run right by Vaughn and he continues
Marcus
moving.
Will. I think if like Marcus will clock that happened and notice that Micah doesn't know what's happening. I don't know if there's like a moment of understanding. Like Marcus isn't going to apologize to him, but there's like a moment of understanding there. And as Micah starts to rush forward, I think like Marcus is going to try to like get her attention and be like, we need to help Nona. We need to go right now. But she's a teleporter. She's fine. We need to go.
Did you get a bomb in there, Nona? What, like
I'm already gone.
She's
running.
She's gone. I'm going to be like pushing. I'm like, we got to go. That thing's growing. We got to move. I mean, I'm not going to drag you, but like,
I'm gonna look to Vaughn confused. He seems to be taking this all completely in stride, right?
Not so. You see him, and he actually makes it eventually to one of the large mess of pipes and wires, and sits down on it, and kind of blue screens of death a little bit, just sitting there.
I'm gonna put my visor up and like try and like activate the +1 notice, searching for this dude because he's gotta go. It's on the list. He's gotta go in the pillar.
And so you do that, Nona. You start searching, and you could actually have you make an intelligence notice check, or is there another relevant check for like finding
intelligence notice?
I keep forgetting about the +1 notice from the visor. Yeah,
I forgot about it too, which is why I called it out and thing to remind myself.
Thank you
I'm
kindly.
like, I need to put this helmet on. Come on, please. Okay.
What pronouns does Zuri use?
They, them.
Fuck.
11.
Nona, you see this happen and you spring into action. You try and understand where certain things where they happened. As immediately as you rush forward, you pass by the body of Zuri, but you don't necessarily pay too much attention to that. You have a different goal in mind. As you make it closer to the center, it seems the other members of the Acolytes of the End were thrown farther than Devas was. In fact, you don't find Devas too much farther from where he stood. The explosion hit him hard. He has lost both legs and seems to be in a state of shock. That's where
he
you
was
have
already getting like there was some ritual stuff happening to him that was making him weaker already, right?
Yeah, he's not looking good right now.
Okay, I would like to grab him and pick him up and head for the pillar.
Okay, so Nona, you pick up. Could I have you make an exert check, please?
Sure.
Strength exert.
How strong are you?
Not great. He's a very small man. It'll be fine. Come on, please. Oh yeah, 9.
All right. Nona, you pick up this man almost as if he's nothing, and you have him cradled in your arms. Marcus and Micah, what are you guys doing?
I'm trying to steer us toward Nona. If I see Zuri's body, though, I'm going to pivot a little bit, but I don't know if I'll notice it before Micah does.
Yeah, I mean, Micah was trying to run over. Marcus stopped her. Like looking like between where like the smoke or debris or whatever is kind of clearing, and then back over at Vaughn. It's like, what happened? Vaughn, was this and I'm like, trying to tear away from Marcus.
If you're trying to tear away from me, I think I'm just going to let you, and I'm going to run toward Nona. So, I
mean, it's like roughly in the same area, right? It's all where the bubble was.
Are you going towards Zuri or towards Vaughn?
Right now I'm going toward where Zuri was in the bubble.
Okay. You find Zuri. They took this explosion not well. In fact, as you know, there isn't really much you can do when hit with a heavy weapon of this. Zuri's dead.
Yeah. Looking around, could I do an investigation of some kind to try and figure out what happened in here, where this explosion came from and originated?
Absolutely. Let me get an intelligence, and I'm going to say you could either do a no or a fix check.
Okay. I'll happily take fix. That is an 8.
You quickly take a look at the body of Zuri, and you have been around explosions before in your past. You pick through and you see like they were close to where this explosion went off. In fact, you start to look at their clothing, and particularly their backpack that they had on. The backpack is shredded and scorched. You do some quick thinking, like you're obviously not like a fire marshal or anything like that, but you can kind of understand with that role, the explosion came from Zuri's backpack.
Yeah. Vaughn, did you do this?
Yes.
Why? This can't have been the only way. We stick together. That's what I was just saying to Zuri and you. This is what you saw?
I saw the end of Orisiame as we know it. I saw my nephew surrounded by acolytes of the end bringing it on. And I saw Zuri among them. Zuri was the only one I could get close to.
So you just used them this whole time, this whole plan. You let Devas get through to them, all of this. I trusted you. We could have gotten through to them, okay? We just needed to get the shields down, and how could you?
They made their choice.
Yeah, I'm going to storm over and get in his face. How? I never thought that you could do this. That Nona was right not to trust you. How could I? You sacrificed them. One of us.
I did. I don't revel in it. We'll miss them. But soldiers die, Micah.
I'm gonna spit at his feet.
He doesn't really respond to that. Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot of highs and lows today for me.
Boy.
Yeah, where are you two at? I think that Mike is so full of this feeling. I like stormed over to Vaughn. Now absolutely cannot be near him.
Yeah.
So yeah, where are you guys at?
I'm carrying...
Nona's making her way towards...
I'm heading for the pillar, and I'm going to toss him inside because that's what the scientist guy said we needed to do. as we're going,
Yeah.
I think you'll notice like Nona's face is weirdly stoic. Like there's anger there, but it's like really, really hard. She is so over this man.
Yep.
That she's like probably easily top 3 people we hate of all time.
All right.
Dr. Samantha Calvin might also be on that list. We shall see.
There are complicated feelings.
There's complicated feelings around that.
It feels like these feelings are less complicated.
Like straightforward. Yeah, it's something to do. And I think as she is carrying him, not even caring if Davos can hear her or not, she says, I would say that I hope you ascend, but to be honest, I don't actually care. I'm not going to let you hurt my friends anymore.
Could you make a int heal check for me, please?
I got a 6.
You
I only have half a man, Jeff. I went as fast as I could, but I do only have half a man.
You only have half a man.
Yeah.
You take a look at how he's doing, and
I check his forehead. There's no pulse.
Oh God. You don't have a great sense of how much time he has left.
Yeah.
You don't really have a good sense if he is going to die in the next seconds or if he's going to would have lived a happy life, but as a
probably not though because of all the death cult stuff.
Probably not. It's not great.
I'm not that.
That's not great for your longevity.
That one's not going to keep me up at night.
And so you go forward. You head forward towards this pillar of light, towards your goal. You have it in your sights. Marcus, are you heading? Did you went to help Nona?
Yeah, whatever I can do to help her.
Claire is also alongside of you. But as you guys approach, you see this cascade of energy and pure light, right? And it seems like it starts to waver as these streaking gaps start to appear in this pillar of light. But when you look closer, it's not gaps in the energy. It's something else. It's a black inky substance that starts to infect and permeate and surround and sheath this pillar. It drips, and as it starts to take the entirety of the pillar in its grasp.
I mean, if I see that starting to happen, you better believe I'm going to run.
I understand that.
Yep.
There are more things that are happening,
Completely
though.
fine.
Oh, boy.
Just put that on the table.
You are speeding up.
Yep.
The once audible hum of the metadimensional energy that was clearly pervasive in this entire room starts to just be quieted, and it's replaced with an eerie silence. You feel the temperature in this entire platform start to drop and plummet. Before you have a chance to cross too far, this once brilliant shimmering beam of metadimensional energy has faded into a silent geyser of black ichor that evaporates into a black mist and starts to cling to the ground. From this geyser of ichor, countless limbs stretch and twist outwardly as if searching for something to hold. But then the silence is suddenly broken. Not by a sound in the conventional sense. It feels as if the very fabric of reality momentarily loosens, followed by a slow, agonizing tightening. A new, unwelcome hum resonates through your entire body. A wave of profound disorientation washes over you. not of dizziness, but a fundamental mismatch between your perception and the reality around you. The smoke mist thickens and twists. Visions of impossible geometries flicker at the edge of your perception, and the veil between dimensions thins. You feel the metadimensional energy, all of you, rushing through your body, begin responding to this hum and start to burn your very veins until the sensation passes as quickly as it came, leaving behind a lingering tremor in your chest and a faint buzzing in your ears. The oppressive silence returns, but is now tainted with that echo of something. You aren't harmed, not physically, but a primal part of you, the core of your being, has been momentarily exposed to something vast and unknowable, leaving it subtly, irrevocably shaken. Creeping into the back of your mind after this experience, a chilling realization dawns on you. That wasn't a sound. That wasn't even an expression as you understood it. That was merely a minuscule expulsion of cosmic breath, a casual ripple in this being's infinite existence that has sent tremors through your very soul. And it was nothing more than a sigh. All right.
So good luck finding a sound effect for that.
I'm on it.
Very cool, though. Very cool. I mean, terrible for us, but you know.
Wait, so what do we see now? The same tower of like picture?
It is so the lighting has changed drastically in this space. The source of light that was at the center of this room has been completely engulfed by this black, shifting, shimmering ichor that is bleeding this smoky mist. The temperature in this entire place has plummeted. In fact, Marcus, as you are helping Nona approach, you start to see your own breath.
Oh. Does Nona have a breath?
That's a great question.
I think they probably would have made you well enough to be able to fake it.
Maybe.
Do you want to roll for it?
I'm trying to think. I think the physical act of breathing would happen. It is the question of whether it is the same temperature as a human or not. You know what I mean? Like there would be.
You know what? I'm going to say no.
I like that.
That's fun.
More fun answer.
That's the more fun answer.
You see the puffs of cold moisture come out from your own breaths, from Claire's, from Davos's ragged breaths. Nona, who has been running quite a lot recently, nothing.
Just got really good,
really good cardio.
I got really good cardio. I basically don't even
I'm also dehydrated.
A really low body temperature.
Worry about.
Yeah, he's obviously very shaken by this experience.
How confident are you that you're seeing what you're seeing, given that we are a pillar of Igor and all of that?
I think at that point he's going to stop running forward, which I assume Nona has as well.
I think I'm actually going to keep going because I know time is of the essence, but I'm going to look at the spider and try to be like, am I still supposed to?
I don't know about that one. That's
You built this thing.
I didn't build that thing.
Well, no, that's just the cosmic entity that you tunneled through and got.
I think it's around it's clearly still using the metadimensional energy. I'm getting readings still, but I can't see it. It's surrounding it in some way.
So Apocalypse 1 is still happening, and now we have to deal with Apocalypse 2?
I think they're kind of tied at the moment.
Okay.
While that's happening, Marcus is. I think he's gonna run over to Claire and he's gonna be like, something's wrong. We need to look. She's not breathing. This isn't. You said there's things from other worlds, right? I think she's one of them. We need to. Come on.
It's just
Claire, please.
She looks at you quickly, Nona.
I don't think I'm paying attention
he's
to
gonna
this.
and
he's trying to hide from me.
In your brain, you hear It's fine. She's a robot. Just roll with it.
Let's go, Claire.
Damn it. Everybody be sharing my secrets.
Claire,
It's fine. As you can just hear it echo in your brain. She cares about me as much of, if not more, than you right now.
Take that. I
She's
showed
fine.
up.
We can trust her.
Claire, I'm so sorry. We should have. And I think if Claire's gonna move, he's just gonna like fall to the ground there.
She's gonna move.
No, Marcus is on the ground.
No.
Marcus is crying on the ground.
All right, so we're in a couple of different places.
Yep.
Micah, you were over by Vaughn when this all happened.
Yeah. So shit's obviously happening over there. It has gotten cold.
Wish your vest had sleeves now.
Yeah. Well, does this armor is this sleeveless armor?
Oh no, it's not. I don't have that in my universe.
That'd be pretty cool and
Just
very
bikini
impractical.
armor.
Bikini
Oh, no.
Plus 2 bikini armor.
Sorry, I forgot. I need to retcon it. Every time
Everyone's
you've seen an Inquisitor, they've had bikini armor on.
Full like abs
That's-
out.
Just forgot to
full
mention that.
ass out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I said abs. I said abs.
Both of them.
Both.
Abs
It's both.
and abs.
Every orifice, Tina.
Abs are not an orifice.
No, I was calling back to a different joke.
Oh my god.
All right. Center. I'm
I'm emotionally distraught.
I'm in my
emotionally
feelings.
distraught.
Oh my God. My armor is chaste.
It's got eyes on it too.
It doesn't even
Rainy
show
eyes.
it doesn't even show your ankles.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. We're reeling it in. All right. Vaughn. I gave my whole life to you, Vaughn. All of us did. Okay, we trusted you. I need to go be with the people who won't betray me. And I'm going to go.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go try and help out now with whatever the fuck is happening here.
If you have any bright ideas, like I'm pretty sure if I throw this man, he's just going to splat against the wall of back and slowly slide down. So I don't think that's what we're doing here. I do have more bombs.
So it looks
You do
like
have more bombs.
there's no longer a pillar of light to chuck our man into.
No, it has been replaced by a pillar of this black liquid from which has stretched countless twisting limbs.
I'm going to send in one of my little mobots to kind of like inch a demo charge like as close as it can get to the point where like I'm trying, the intention is to blow a hole in this thing and then hopefully throw Davos through said hole and deal with Apocalypse 1 so then we can then turn around and deal with Apocalypse 2.
Very reasonable.
That's the plan.
Very reasonable.
Let me know how it goes horribly wrong.
So you're sending a Mobot with a demo charge towards this thing. Yeah, so it doesn't get too far away. It probably gets on the order of, hold on.
How many football fields, Jeff? How many football fields?
Probably gets about 20 meters away
before
one of these limbs starts to whip around. And I need it to, I need your Mobot to, actually, no, it's an attack. It's not a, does a 21 hit?
Yes. I don't even have to scroll down to that to know that hits.
All right. And then, so it gets smacked for 5 damage.
Okay.
But it is also pushed back 6 meters.
Actually, as it makes contact, assuming it's far enough away from us, I'm going to blow it up.
Sure. Yeah. Could you roll damage? Sorry, you're going to have to give me, because it's about 20 meters away from the pillar right now.
I don't think it's actually going to be able to necessarily get to the pillar. We're doing science right now. This is a test to see if I can blow up that. Yes. My shirt also says science. It's fitting for today.
Yes.
We're trying to see if demo charges can even damage this thing.
Absolutely.
So it probably won't actually be able to get to that core. But
what is the range of a demo charge? Can you give that to me?
I used to know that.
All right. I can quickly look it up, I think. Inflict their damage on objects within 20 meters.
It like reaches out and like it brushes a hair
Just
on
like
the pillar.
tickles it.
Just like, whoa.
It tickles it. Also, victims within 40 meters take half damage.
Okay, that's good.
That
Yeah.
includes
That's good.
that
y'all.
includes us, Kirsten.
I mean, that was not necessarily the intention,
Oh,
but
no.
generally when we've been setting these up, I did not look up range, but my intention was to be like, set a bomb, move away to a safe distance.
I'm going to say you guys know how demo charges work. You understand the relative kind of size of the explosions.
Right.
We're not in combat right now. I'm not going to make you have like tried to have moved out of the way before this happened. This whip of the Mobot did take you a little bit by surprise. So you're a little bit closer to the explosion than you would particularly have cared for.
Sure.
You get like a mwop, mwop. Can't hear.
No, I don't.
You don't. Claire and Marcus do. I think Mike is still a little too far away for this. Can you roll damage for me?
Sure.
3d10.
Yes, it is. Woo.
Would you like a D10, Kirsten?
I have 4 d10s.
Oh.
That is a 19.
All right. And so this pillar doesn't move. It takes it, because it's not really, as far as you can tell, it seems to be less a cognitive thing and more just like a writhing environmental hazard. For lack of a better word.
She's very pretty.
She's very pretty.
For a writhing environmental hazard.
So it doesn't make any kind of evasion saving throw. It just takes that damage.
Sure. I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that Mobot's dead.
That Mobot's very dead.
Yeah, he had 1 HP left. But he died serving his country.
He takes another 19 damage and just disintegrates.
R.I.P.
The others hesitate and look up at me, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're next." Oh no! I'm kidding.
These ones don't have
They
personalities.
do.
Right?
Well, they have
Mobot 2 and Mobot 3 are worried about their lives.
Oh god. Yeah.
They're virtual intelligences.
Yeah. So they it's a gray area.
Okay.
Is the answer.
Actually, I think there might be actually expert systems. They don't even like freaking. I can't remember the
one we call
EDI
Adam.
246.
Thank you, EDI 246. It's been too long.
Yeah, that's ADM 141.
Thank you.
EDI 246 was
I
the
remember
virtual
the names
intelligence.
of my robot buddies.
Of course you do.
So it has like a little bit extra thing, but expert systems can kind of like, they can respond, but anything you try and ask them to do outside of their
Got it.
thing that they were made for is not great.
Which is like carrying stuff and doing things. He died doing what he was programmed to do.
I salute you, little robot boy. But what happens to this pillar is there were a couple of limbs in the vicinity of this explosion, and they seem to be ripped apart by the explosion. And you notice, you can actually see a fairly decent, sphere where this explosion came from in the shape, I should say the missing shape of the pillar and the limbs. In fact, just for the barest of moments, you can see a glint behind this sheath around the metadimensional energy, and you can see it peer, and that light pierces through until it is pretty quickly consumed once more.
Do you think you two could cover? Because it was 3, Claire as well.
Marcus has collapsed on the ground.
Okay.
He's a little sad.
I'm
Sad
so
boy
glad we
right
brought
now.
you.
Are you going to shout at him? Because if you shout at him,
Yeah,
he'll
I'm
answer
going
you.
to. We're actually probably in like business mode. It is time to stop fucking around.
Yeah,
like
so fair.
Claire and Micah are moments from death, as far as I understand
Got
it.
it.
We're not fucking with things.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see everybody focus on the arms, protect the bot. I'm sending it in first. We'll set the explosion off, and then I'll get Devas in there.
We got something for me to shoot, and I kind of indicate I could use my telekinetic ram.
That could work.
Ooh.
How far? What's the range on that?
Far. I think just like I can see it.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna have to look that one up.
Here. So I guess the question for you, Jeff, would be if these are like multiple like moving creatures or something. It needs to be like a stationary object.
We said the pillar itself was an environmental hazard. He said that. I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A single target with insight.
With insight, yeah.
Yeah. Targets are aware of an oppressive electrical tingling in the air and are apt to instinctively move. The technique is thus generally useless against any target that's not entirely immobile, as movement will disrupt the ram.
Yeah. That absolutely
All
works.
right. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. So I can.
Okay.
I can try to punch a hole for us.
Get me a hole in that thing. The rest of you on the tentacles, arms, whatever they are. Shoot them as they come for me.
Yeah. Okay.
You
He,
still
picks
you still have
Yes.
Davos. Can I get an int heal check from both Micah and Marcus right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
He will sadly pick himself up off the ground and walk toward his space daughter. Int heal?
Int heal.
And heal. Great. God, my dice.
I got a 9.
Where is heal?
Fifth, I wanna say.
There we go. Okay. It was going to be a bad roll anyway. I got a 4.
Nice.
Marcus, you have the best sense of this. This is the best role that the team has gotten. You don't know how much longer Davos has to live. It's a little bit clearer than what Nona was able to make out. You're not even entirely sure he's going to make it like the next 30 seconds. And in fact, as you're taking a look at him, you can kind of see the color fading from his face as he points, like weakly raises his hand with the tattoo of the positive plus symbol on his hand and points out a single figure. The figure 30 or so meters away on Nona's right. It's Phoenix Pham. And it is looking at the pillar. And you can hear him whisper, Master, please. And you see Phoenix Pham look over at you all, and its eye focuses on Davos, and it says, "You have failed. You were given the keys to unlimited potential, and you are only able to open the door a fraction of a fraction. Hundreds of years of meticulous planning, decades of execution, and this is all you were able to come up with. Not even able to reach what your predecessors had done. Truly disappointing." And you can feel like Davos in Nona's arms as he tries to echo out more words. They are hard. And he says, let me have a second chance. And Phoenix Pham just says, "This was it. No second chances. But you will meet your God soon enough. It beckons. Pray it is merciful and grants eternal slumber." And it looks at you all, its eye unblinking, scanning each one of you before it almost seems like a shake of its head, and it's gone.
When Phoenix Pham looks at Nona, just absolutely unbridled rage.
Mm-hmm.
They're also on the list.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
While that was happening, Marcus is going to get a Lazarus patch and slap it on Davos.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Very good plan. Very good plan. Get 2, 1 for each leg
Unfortunately,
stump.
that does require a skill check.
Believe in you.
This morning was a character with an int heal or dex heal. Didn't I just do int heal?
This was more to identify, not to apply the
Looking at
ravaging.
stuff.
All right. Dexio and Tino, they're the same. All right. Come on. Oh. Oh.
Maybe.
Okay. I got a 10. No, I got a 9.
That's still pretty good. Not as good as 10.
Got a 9.
With a Lazarus patch, this makes the check 6 plus the amount of rounds that has passed.
Yeah.
I think this would have been at least... This is more than 30 seconds have passed from the explosion.
Fuck.
You try to apply the Lazarus patch, particularly on the areas of Devas that are the worst off. But as you put this to him, it doesn't take you. It's been a while since you've used one of these things. You only use them in a pinch. But as you place it, you look up at Devas's face, and he's no longer breathing.
Aye.
The color is completely gone from his face. Devas is dead. And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
No.
God.
No.
Alrighty.
I should have used integrity.
Yeah,
But
I was saying.
but I was like, I don't want him to like. I don't
come
want him
back
to
up
get
and kick your ass.
exactly.
Yeah, no, that was the thing I was worried
But
about.
also, like, no, that was a great idea. But also, it's like slapping a band-aid. I was like, he'll be fine. He's like, his leg is